for the record, Geoff, could we get your first and last name with the spelling?
Geoffrey Epstein, Geoffrey spelled Geoffrey, and Epstein, Epstein.
Well, again, Geoffrey, thank you very much for coming into the studio today to talk about your recent decision to throw your hat in the ring for the mayoral race in Framingham. We'll get into the specifics leading into November, leading into the campaign season, if you will, within a couple of months. But first, I wanted to take a step back. For people who may not be aware of you and your work, tell us a little bit about your background that's led you to this point.
Well, it traces back to when I was living in Newton, and my son was in elementary school. It's called primary school in Australia, where I'm from. And he couldn't do math very well, so I had to practice with him at math. And when he'd be wandering around the house, I'd ask him 6 plus 5, and etc. So I got him pretty good on that. But then I could see there was a weakness in the school system, and the school system, well-regarded school system, but weak on math. So I decided that I would try and lobby to improve math. That proved difficult from the outside. So I decided to run, and I ran twice there. The first time in 2005 I lost with 40% of the vote. The second time I ran on a full-blown math and science platform and got 60% of the vote. And I was the first person in 15 years to defeat an incumbent school committee member, and I had the entire council and school committee against me in that race. So I learned that if you go out to the community and tell them the facts and what you're about, that really works. So I was motivated there. When I came to Framingham in 2014, when my youngest son graduated and went off to college, I thought I wouldn't be involved in that anymore. But then I was looking at the school system, looking at some of the financials. They were shifting to a city. I had 6 years of experience on a school committee in a city, and so I decided I'd run for school committee here. And then I got off after 4 years because I realized that the school system was quite well administered with Bob Tremblay and Lincoln Lynch and so on, but all of the problems were city-side. And so I've been lobbying for the last 2 years with a column, the Framingham Observer, which is a Substack newsletter, trying to make change from the outside. And you can make some change, like they doubled their investment in road repair, but it's really, the problems are so systemic that you have to run and do it from the inside. And I'm convinced that with, Charlie Szycicki's had 4 years and he's largely focused on projects. And his reason for running that he announced was, well, I like the job and I like to do projects. Well, that's the least of my concerns. These projects, I think you hire a project manager to do projects, but you need to focus on education, infrastructure, environment, protecting the workforce, better financial management. So all of probably the first 10 priorities that I have are not visible in Charlie's world. So I think I'm compelled to run. Framingham, I think, is degrading slowly, and either I leave or I stay and fight. And so I decided I would stay and fight.